Hello and welcome to our 5 on 5 today. I'm Grace Smith, joined today by Ben Westhoff, an award-winning journalist who covers culture, poverty, and drugs. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've covered fentanyl and its impact on individuals and communities extensively, and it's an issue we are certainly dealing with here in our region. Can you share a little of your experience covering this crisis?
Yeah, I had a friend die from fentanyl back before anyone had really heard of it. And for my book, Fentanyl Inc., I went undercover in Chinese drug labs. I traveled to China, I went to Shanghai and Wuhan, and went inside these drug organizations where they actually manufacture fentanyl. And from there, it's sold to the Mexican cartels who distribute it up through the southern border. So basically, I researched and looked into all sort of steps in the distribution ladder.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, in your perspective, how has this issue developed over the years?
It's the third wave of the opioid crisis. So the first was prescription pills like OxyContin, second was heroin, and now there's almost no pure heroin out there anymore. It's all cut with fentanyl. That's the third wave of the opioid epidemic. And now the problem is that fentanyl is also cut into all these other drugs. In fact, any pill or any powder that you get on the black market could have fentanyl, from cocaine, heroin, meth, to even fake prescription pills that are pressed to look exactly like a Percocet or a Xanax or something like that.
Wow. Now, there are concerns over rainbow fentanyl nationwide, some even recently seized in Portland. Officials say it could be targeting kids. Have you seen producers turning more towards younger ages at all?
I don't necessarily think it's targeting kids. I think that it's sort of a marketing effort to distinguish when there's a lot of different sellers all selling fentanyl. They can market it and say, this color, the purple, is really strong, or the blue is really strong. Although the DEA says that it's all the same potency. But basically, I don't think I'm not too worried about this falling into the hands of kids. This pure fentanyl. What I'm more worried about is kids that take these fake prescription pills. They think it's a pill from a doctor or from a pharmacy, but really it's a black market pill. It could be cut with fentanyl and could kill them immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for your insight. We'll be right back after this break with more. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. I'm joined here today by Ben Westhoff. Now, Ben, in your opinion, why is law enforcement having such trouble pinning down fentanyl?
Fentanyl is a tricky drug because, like I mentioned before, a lot of people don't even want it or even know they're taking it. It's so potent, it's so pure that only 2 grains of rice worth is enough to kill someone. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin, so it's much easier to smuggle into the country, to sort of distribute around the country. You can have a suitcase full that basically has millions of doses. And so that represents unprecedented levels of problems for law enforcement.
Absolutely. Now, here in the Rogue Valley, Max's mission works to spread knowledge and use of naloxone, also called Narcan. Do you think Oregon does a good job making it available to the general public?
I think we're getting there. Yeah. Narcan is it's like a miracle drug. It immediately reverses opioid overdoses, and it should be in the hands of anyone who might potentially be around someone who could overdose. And Max's mission has done a great job distributing naloxone and Narcan, which is the nasal spray.
Now, the group is holding an event next month on Overdose Awareness Day. Ahead of that day in general, is there anything else you'd want people to know or reflect on when it comes to this difficult topic and crisis?
I think it's very important for parents to realize that kids, young kids, even 13, 14 years old, it's really important to have a conversation with them about fentanyl, opioids, and really just the drug supply in general. This is not the same market that it was when we were younger. Back then you could maybe snort a line at a party or something like that, or take a random pill and you would probably be okay. But it's not the case anymore. And kids really need to know that any powder, any pill from the black market could have fentanyl.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your insight, and thank you for making time to talk with us today, Ben.
It was my pleasure.
We'll be right back.